Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hi, this is Tammy Patzer, and today's guest is Catherine M. LAUB. She's a co-author of Chocolate and Diamonds for the Woman's Soul and Chocolate and Diamonds for the Woman's Soul, Celebrating the Majesty of Motherhood, and also Journey to the Stage, Volume 2, and Discover Your Destiny, Live Your Dreams, Love Your Life. Welcome, Catherine.
Thank you, and thank you for inviting me to be on your show. I'm so thrilled to be here.
Well, it's really good to have you. Tell me a little bit more about you. Where do you live?
I live in Lake Ronkonkoma, New York, and that would be Long Island, the very southern part of New York, and I've lived here most of my life.
Great. So I want to know a lot more about you. You're a part of so many different book projects. Why do you write?
I feel that my writing the stories about myself will help inspire other people to realize that they're not in it alone, and that most of the time we think that our suffering is so unique, but this way people learn that it's not as unique as they think, and that there is help for them to feel better in their lives.
So you have a very interesting background, and you're a big advocate for mental health. So tell me a little bit how you got involved in being an advocate for mental health issues.
Okay, so I never really realized that most of my life I suffered from depression, and it was brought out in 1992 when my first husband left me. I was pretty much in a state of shock, and I wasn't functioning, and I had 3 small children. So I kind of got through life, but then in 2003, I started on a worse depression journey where I was hospitalized 3 times, 2003 through 2014, and 2014 being an actual suicide attempt. And I don't want people to look at that as a negative aspect, because it was an answer to a prayer to my physical ailments. I wanted help in feeling better. And this was God's answer telling me that, okay, you need to get under the barrel before you could go forward. So I got put on the right track with the right medical doctors and mental health doctors and community. And from there, I've advanced so well that my angels have guided me to share my experiences and let people know, look, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and when you put your mind to it, you can really accomplish anything, and you can have a happy life.
Wow, I'm actually getting chills as you were telling your story. So you have a connection with your angels, and you are actually an angel intuitive also. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes, I am, and it's been such a great journey because I kind of stumbled on this with the angel communication. I had a life coach, and she would do a 1-card reading, and eventually I said to her, well, how do I learn this, because I really want to get involved. Excuse me. I had been reaching for something, religion. I did such a journey of searching for my niche. And when I came across the card reading, it was exactly what I was looking for. So when I began my classes, I was a natural. And from there, I've advanced so far where I used to say I was an angel communication master, and now I call myself a psychic medium because I'm capable of doing wonderful readings.
Wow. So it started out with you literally prayed to God for an answer to help you make it through your depression and the mental issues that you were having, and you got back angels and writing, and of course now being a psychic medium, you developed, I take it, into a psychic medium using the angel cards?
Yes, correct.
So let's go back and talk a little bit about how your angel readings and how your angels help you with your writing.
I ask them before, before I sit down and start typing away, I say to them, okay, I have all the thoughts in my subconscious. Please help me bring them to the surface and share them in a way where people will understand and connect with me.
I think that's really important, what you just said, to share them in a way that will help people understand and connect with me. That way you actually get images and messages that are clear and in, I guess, plain English is what I like to call it, because I know that sometimes it's difficult to read symbolism, and if you're able to get it out in plain language that everyone can understand, you can connect with a lot more people. So with the writing that you do and the stories that you share, how do you think they'll impact people?
I think it's going to help them to do a little bit of soul searching and recognize that if they are a sufferer of any kind of mental illness, they don't have to shy away from sharing it. It's allowing them and giving them permission to say, okay, I do suffer from this. How can I get help?
So you have some other book projects or writing projects in mind. Would you like to share?
Yes, actually, the next one will be 365 Days to Grace, and that is with Jody Chapman and Dan Tech. They brought together over 200 authors to write these mini stories in their book to have one each day for anybody to pick up and read. And in this book, I've written 4 mini stories, and 2 of the stories were very spiritually based, because one was how my father saved my mother's life, and the other one was how the angels saved my life. So that is releasing on June 21st. And then sometime in July or August, a spiritual book will be releasing with 12 authors, and that's with Anne Deidre. And in that story, I wrote a lot about where I had come from in my healing journey and how my spirituality has evolved from childhood into adulthood and how fast I'm expanding on everything now.
So how long have you been doing the angel readings? When did you first start really focusing on angel readings?
That was in 2010.
Okay.
And I continued on with classes and just learning on my own and practicing. And now I do psychic readings at psychic fairs.
Oh, okay. So you also have a free report on your website related to talking to angels. I know that many people are like me. I remember one time getting angry because I knew that I was being communicated with, from the higher level, but I could not understand the symbols that I was getting, that I would see. So I, got mad one day and said, just talk to me in plain English. And then I started to get like, oh, okay, I get it now. But give me some information about if the angels are trying to communicate with you, do they send symbols? Can you give me some examples of how to know if an angel is, or your angels are trying to give you some messages and what these symbols might mean?
Sure, yes. So one way would be repeating numbers. The most popular one would be 111 or 1111. And that's basically letting you know that the angels are around. And what they want you to know is if you need help with anything, you can reach out and say, okay, whatever angels are around me, please guide me and help me understand what I need to do to go forward. I'll actually read a paragraph from here. Our angels love using signs to let us know they are around. Repeating numbers is one of their favorites. Their top number is 111, which means your thoughts are manifesting instantly. You should pay attention to your thoughts because they will attract what you are thinking, both positive or negative. You may also see numbers that have meaning for you, and they will keep popping up. You may be reading a newspaper and see the number 84, then while watching TV, a phone number displayed on the screen will have the number 84 in it. You can be driving and see a license plate with the same number, and your angels want you to think about this number and how it will relate to what is going on in your life. I had a bank statement and I saw the numbers 1881 and then also 8118, and the numbers on my charge card were also having the same number. So I had to research and look into what that number actually meant. Now, where you can also learn about numbers would be Doreen Virtual's Angel Numbers 101 book. And anytime that you want to learn about a number, just research it in the book and it'll help you understand.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
So numbers, my daughter always talks about the 111. And I noticed that lately I've seen a lot of 111s. Like, for example, I'll look up and my clock will say that. Or it'll be like on TV. You're exactly right. I'll start to see the same number repeated, or sometimes you go to the grocery store and you'll get like an interesting number combination. One time I actually had a dream about lottery numbers, and in the dream it was a certain number, and it was like, you should play this number. Mm-hmm. And I did not do it, but those numbers did come up. And the message, though, I really think it was not about playing the lottery at all. I think it was about you have to learn to trust your intuition and yourself. I think, that was really what that was all about, because I didn't trust it. So I didn't play those numbers, when if I had, it would have been a confirmation that I was receiving accurate information, but I chose to ignore it. So I think that's interesting. What about feathers? I've heard that often angels will send feathers, and I have had experiences when I was in a place where there should not have been any little white feathers. All of a sudden, there were white feathers. Yes.
Feathers are a big thing for me. I'm finding them all over. Example would be, I went to my grandson's school for an event, and as I was leaving, inside the school in the hallway was a white feather. And you usually don't find feathers indoors. So this was a perfect confirmation that the angels were near me. Another example was, I was doing a reading for someone, and I said to her, well, tell me about the feathers. And she says, what do you mean? I says, you're receiving a lot of feathers, aren't you? I says, they're from your mother. She says, oh my God, my whole backyard today was full of feathers. And she gathered them, she put them in a bowl, and she emailed me the picture. There must have been 15 feathers.
Wow.
And then a couple weeks later, speaking with her, she said to me that, I cannot believe this. She says, I was in my mother's basement, and all of a sudden I looked up and there was this beautiful ball of white feathers with a train of feathers. She says, it hadn't been there before. And I said to her, well, I told you your mother was going to be sending you feathers as a recognition that she's around. And then I began to tell her the connection also was that I believe the shape of this item was the shape of her mother's wedding bouquet. And she says, I'm going to have to look. And then she looked in pictures and she confirmed that that's what it was. So if you're seeing feathers around, you have to think, is it coming from your angels or can it be from a loved one? And is there something going on in your life right then that your loved one might want to let you know about?
Very interesting. And I just want to ask for one more, and that is when you find money, often pennies, dimes, dollars, $20 bills in the laundry.
Yep.
What is that all about?
So that would be from a deceased loved one. My father sends me and my mother and one of my sisters dimes, and we know that they're from him because we'll be in, I was in a hospital emergency room with one of my daughters, and I had been looking in one section underneath her bed, and I know there was no dime there, but when they wheeled her out, a dime appeared. And I knew, okay, Daddy, thank you for being with me, and thank you for protecting Vanessa because whatever she was going through physically. You can find them, you can be vacuuming in your house and walk back to the same area and they'll appear. And it's just a miracle how it comes together. And they're just letting you know that they're around and that they love you.
That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. Tell me, Catherine, where can people find out more about your services?
I have a website. It's www.catherinemlaub.com. So that would be CATHERINEMLAUB.com. And on there you can learn about my services. You can find the links to purchase any of my books. And I have a lot of information up there about various things. I also teach vision boards and creation journaling classes. There's a little bit of information on that if you don't live locally to me. How to investigate, how to make one on your own. And you can receive my free report. There's a link there. And the name of my report is 7 Ways to Know Your Angels and Loved Ones in Spirit Are With You.
Well, that is a beautiful, beautiful offer. Everyone, definitely go check out Catherine's website. Thank you, Catherine. I really enjoyed learning about you.
Thank you for having me. It's been wonderful sharing my experiences, and I look forward to people connecting with me so I can help them feel better in general.
This is Tammy Pantzer. Go make it a beautiful day.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.